So this past week, Ed Boon has been tweeting quite a few tweets that have kind of just crossed all kinds of plethoras of Mortal Kombat hopes, Marvel vs. DC hopes, even just like out of left field, just randomness hopes of possibly like Mortal Kombat, Smash Brothers type games. It's just been kind of all over the place, but we did get some clapback from Mr. Boon, and a new video has resurfaced of Ed Boon talking about Mortal Kombat 11's basically longevity and him basically shooting down a combat pack. So let's break that down. So I'm not going to go in a particular order, but I kind of wanted to talk about first the kind of teases that Ed Boon did, and then kind of go into, you know, what he talked about with the fan about shooting the combat pack down, and then a video that surfaced of him basically confirming that that's probably going to be the case. So first of all, let's talk about some of the teases. So Ed Boon did tweet about, he basically retweeted a video that a fan has made of Batman, the Batfleck version, battling Spider-Man, and it's a pretty cool video, and it kind of gives us a hint about, you know, more of this Marvel versus DC kind of fighting game that fans seem to want by NetherRealm Studios if that were to be made, because one of the many rumors is that NetherRealm Studios could be making a Marvel game, or as I talked about, a Killer Instinct game if they're bought by Microsoft, or any other games that they could be making, Invincible game, a Shaolin Monks 2 remastered game. There's all kinds of scenarios, but many fans were like, oh my gosh, this is him like confirming or saying that he's in support of a Marvel vs. DC game, you know, doing that same thing we do where, you know, we're Always Sunny in Philadelphia trying to like think about what he's talking about, deciphering his tweets. But he has been posting quite a bit of these kind of tweets for a while now, and so I think it puts in people's mind that we could be getting some type of Marvel game in the future, or that he at least wants to make one. Now, we also got a tweet where he retweeted basically a fan talking about how Mr. Boon should just make a game where it's Johnny Cage versus Cuphead, and Ed Boon saying that's a very compelling point, and then the guys from the encyclopedia, the unofficial Mortal Kombat encyclopedia, saying it could be a compelling point, which is a play on words, but this is another tweet fans got excited about because, you know, given the violence of Cuphead, and there's been various rumored characters as far as like Tom and Jerry, Shaggy. There's a handful of characters that have been tweeted in the past that could be potential roster characters for Mortal Kombat. This kind of goes back to a scenario or a theory that some people had in the past that the next NetherRealm game could be a Smash Brothers type game, and just kind of bring in a plethora of characters and have them versus the Mortal Kombat universe. So that's an interesting take as well. I don't think that will happen, but it's just cool to see that fans and even Ed Boon himself are liking what fans are showing him as far as matching two universes together. All right, so let's get to the tweet where actually the combat pack pretty much got shot down. So Ed Boon did confirm, as I talked about in the previous video, the announcement of Mortal Kombat Legends Battles of the Realms, and he basically just posted a picture and said he's excited to finally announce some new Mortal Kombat news, and it's related to the animated film. So a fan responded and said, finally some news about MK, but it's not enough. Where's Kombat Pack 3? And so he posted a kind of cryptic tweet of the Emperor from Star Wars and said, good, let the self-entitlement run through you. Now, a lot of fans were kind of like, what? Say what? What are you trying to tell us? You know, I think what he's basically saying is that be excited with what you get. You're not entitled to anything else other than what I'm giving you. You know, don't think that you deserve Kombat Pack 3 or a new Combat Pack or any DLC for Mortal Kombat 11. Be happy with what you have and just deal with it. So I think that's what he's kind of saying, and I know that he probably gets, as I've talked about before, he probably gets really aggravated that every time somebody tweets something, as we're discussing in this video, all the theories that can relate to Mortal Kombat. The man just probably wants to be able to tweet and not come back to him that's something to do with Mortal Kombat. He's like, guys, this is not it. Quit, stop, whatever. So I'm pretty sure this is his way of like shutting that down. So this came out, and then interestingly enough, a video came out that he had done in the past. I don't know if it's through Vanity Fair or some, you know, where he just gives an interview of answering fans' questions about how long the support would be for Mortal Kombat 11. I remember seeing this video, but I didn't think anything of it, you know, but now that we've been having this discussion for a while now and people are wanting, you know, a DLC for Mortal Kombat 11, or if it's done, this video brings something to light, and I think that it further, you know, further confirms the point that we will probably not get anything for Mortal Kombat 11. Or if we do, it'll be for a very long time. So this video resurfaced, and I'm going to go ahead and play it for you. But it's basically Ed Boon saying that the support for Mortal Kombat 11 was initially not supposed to go up until the next-gen consoles, and after that, that was it.
At Rose Dancer 5 says, how long is MK11 planned to be supported? As long as previous titles or longer? Until next generation consoles? We're not going to support MK11 that long. Like that? We like to support our games for as long as possible, and for Mortal Kombat 11, we are going to support this game for the long foreseeable future. There's plenty of cool characters and new game modes coming, and you're gonna love it. And that's it.
So as you can see from this video, he basically is saying that he had no intention of supporting Mortal Kombat 11 up until the next-gen consoles. When the next-gen consoles came out, they did allow for the ultimate version of Mortal Kombat to come out, which would be like the final version. That's what people are thinking. And that would be a dual release for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and then Xbox Series S and X. So that's pretty much it. That's basically what I think like he's saying. And I think that the recent tweet where he's basically saying that people should not feel entitled to any more than what he's giving them, I mean, I don't know how I can say it. Now, I think people just want, as I've been hearing in a previous video in the comments, that people feel like Warner Brothers should just tell them, Ed Boon or NetherRealm Studios or Warner Brothers Games, that they appreciate that Mortal Kombat 11 has been, has been loved by fans and has had some success, but that there's nothing else as far as DLC coming out. What I find interesting is that, Ed Boon is still supporting the game as far as getting people to play it. Now, you have to keep in mind that the game is still being sold. It's at a discount, but people are still buying it. And because of that, they want to make sure that they can still get their money's worth out of the game, because even though people may buy the ultimate version, some people are not, and they have to go buy Aftermath and all the packs and whatnot. So, and there's crypt events, which he does continue to post about. He just posted about a crypt event. And so he does still support the game in some form or fashion. So even if he's not talking about a new DLC, he is still promoting Mortal Kombat 11 because he still wants to get return on investment and get every little penny they can squeeze out of it before people are just kind of done with it. So I say all this because it's interesting to think that in a previous video, we've talked about so many things the past couple of weeks. We've talked about, we're for sure going to get an announcement at E3. That's what people were thinking when that did not happen. We talked about maybe having an announcement between E3 and, any other event that comes up, especially DC Fandom. It's looking less likely for that. I think that with all these tweets and the retweets of past, interviews with him, it's looking less likely that we'll get Kombat Pack 3 or any type of DLC for Mortal Kombat. Now, I still think there's just a slight glimmer of hope, because with the new animated film being announced and people seeming excited for that, there is still an opportunity for them. As I've said before, they could do great tie-ins with that movie. Now, I think just about every character that they've announced, with the exception of Smoke, which seems to be a recurring character, Smoke, Cyrax, Sector, they're not going to bring Kintaro, but I think those three and maybe some other one, I think those characters could all be thrown into Mortal Kombat 11. So there is still some hope for some characters to be thrown in there, but I don't think it's likely. But if we're going to have some hope, that would be it. So when that movie comes out around August 31st, I think that will be the definitive, answer if Mortal Kombat 11 will get any more DLC. Is if after that, during that time period, if there's any announcement of any type of DLC, it'll be because of that. If not, I think the game is done. So what are your thoughts on Ed Boon's tweets? What are your thoughts on the bringing a Marvel game from NetherRealm Studios coming out? What are your thoughts on the Kombat Pack being shot down? Do you think that the interview that resurfaced and the retweet to the fan that had the comment about how, it's great about Mortal Kombat content, but not the one stuff we want to hear about? Do you think those are all nails in the coffin for Kombat Pack 3 or any other future DLC? That's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed, hit that like button. For this one, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time on the Mashup.